March 3rd. Thank you so much for joining into our weekly PPACA webinar. If you're new to the format, you can ask questions by raising your hand icon on your control panel to the right of your screen, or you can just type in your questions in the question box and we'll go through them at the end. These webinars are really just to keep everyone informed with the constant changes, and I can tell you from last night or yesterday when I prepared the agenda to this morning, I had to add a few things. So we're going to get right into our agenda. Just with a quick show of hands, if you could just let me know if you can see my screen. I always am concerned that you can't. Thank you very much. I see some hands going up. All right, I appreciate that. So first and foremost, you know, the SEP business on the individual under 65 market is definitely going through some changes. It has really since the law was signed in 2010. But the biggest thing really is that compensation is not going to be paid. Independence is still paying. UPMC, the second bullet point, will be paying, but only with up to 5/1 effective dates. I'm sorry, as of 5/1 effective dates, they won't be paying. So you can still write a 4/1 with them and get compensated. But because of that, you know, there will be more and more folks getting coverage through the marketplace or through direct stores or direct with the carriers, and they're going to have some issues. I mean, it's inevitable that they're going to be put into a plan with a very narrow network that might not work for them because those are the most price competitive programs. So my point to you is that if you do start getting complaints from consumers, the only thing we can do is give them the complaint form for the Pennsylvania Insurance Department and have them lodge a complaint, whatever it may be, because I honestly think until consumers are affected by this adversely, unfortunately, I don't think anything's going to change as far as the respect that agents bring, and quite frankly, the protection from these complaints that the protections or that the agents allow for these consumers, since you know we don't want to get slapped an E&O claim, and obviously we want to do the best we can for the client. So we protect the clients and the consumers most of the time from, you know, issues with their health plan. That's pretty much gone away, at least until open enrollment in 17, which incidentally starts November 1st. It's going to run November 1st, January 31st, the same as it did this year. One of the things that I added was there was a notice from HHS on February 29th for those of you that are in the group market, the small group market, where they, you know, the state, or actually the president said, if you like your plan, you can keep your plan. We all understand that. And he allowed the states to determine what they were going to do with the extension of the grandmothered, the non-PPACA plans. And up until February 29th, the rule was that as of October 17th of 2017, no grandmothered programs would be allowed, that all the transition to the PPACA plans would have to take place. They did extend that now until 12/1 of 2017. So that's definitely going to affect what carriers are offering early renewals. For instance, Capital Blue Cross announced yesterday that as of 6/1 renewals, any non-PPACA grandmothered plan will only be offered an ACA option. So 6/1 renewals with Cap Blue Cross, they're already going to make that transition. They're not extending. There are other carriers still trying to figure out what they're going to do with this latest notice, and I have messages into all of them. As soon as I know what they're going to do, I will certainly let you know. We're down to the SEP bullet point, and as we mentioned last week, the FFM is going to start to require proof of qualifying events. This is a pain in the butt, but it's a good thing for this volatile sort of time where people can come in and out of the marketplace. and we all know that they shouldn't, but we all know that it's pretty easy to do it through healthcare.gov because they don't require proof. Well, that's going to change, and ultimately that's going to protect the risk pool from these shot claims. Again, people coming in, getting their services, and then terminating their plans. Will it have a huge and tremendous effect on the rates and everything else that is going on and, you know, attacking this law? I don't think so, but, you know, we'll do what they say and figure out a way to do business. Next bullet point, group Highmark East, formerly BC NEPA, they are having a commission change. That commission change is going to the Highmark Central model. So groups are going to be starting with 1/1 renewals for NEPA. Those groups are going to start paying the Highmark fee of $24 per member per month, and that's specific to the group. So that is a big change for many because that's a reduction. Imagine that, a reduction in commission. But I want you to be mindful of that. Also wanted to remind you about our Gemini program. If you're doing your business with us and all of your business with us, or you want to do all of your business with us, whether it's health, group health, employee benefits, Medicare, annuities, life, etc., then the Gemini program is definitely something that you may want to look into. Also, if you're doing group health, you know, our group shared bonus pool is starting at started at $25,000 in January. It's now up to $45,000. So if you're writing group health and you want to submit that through us as a Gemini partner, you could be eligible for that $45,000, and it's going to grow towards the, you know, throughout the year. But you would be eligible for a piece of that pie just by being a Gemini partner and submitting your group business with us. So it is something to consider, and if you have questions on it, I'm happy to help you with that. Just give me a call. I also, I'm going to just put all hands down. With a show of hands, I do have the HHS notification, and I also have the PID insurance form complaint. So either with a show of hands or with just shooting me an email or typing it in the question box. If you want me to forward those via email, I can. I can't, for some reason, the system is not allowing me to upload these forms right now to the system. But again, I can just send it to you. So again, just a show of hands, if you want to receive those forms, I'm happy to email them to you. All right. So that brings us up to our open forum, and let me get up the question box and see what we can do here. Dave Highland says, have you put these PID complaint forms in your weekly notes? I did, Dave, but they actually were attached. The last two webinars, they were attached, but I will send that to you, Dave, and you can have that for your use. Capital's individual plans that were grandmothered. You know what, Erica, I don't know that yet. I will, because we just received notification yesterday on the group. So let me find out about the individual grandmothered programs and get back to you. Bill says, we've been filing complaint forms to the PID for over a month, and the consumers have yet to receive a response. Has anyone else received responses? That's a good question. Anyone want to comment on that? If you received responses or your clients received responses? And Brett says, please go over when we are getting paid for CBC business on or off exchange. Okay, so Capital Blue Cross announced that they are delaying compensation. And what they said is that they were taking a snapshot as of February 9th and paying that out in the March commission run, which comes out in April. And then what they're going to do is take another snapshot, more recent snapshot for the next commission run, and correct any of their estimates that they paid and pick up any missed cases. So to me, it's convoluted, and I can only imagine the amount of errors, but it's delayed, and I would just encourage you to keep track of what you're being paid on and your consumers so that we can settle up sooner rather than later. The CAT Blue Cross BOR form is very, very easy. It does not require a consumer's signature. So unlike Highmark's forms where you had to go back and get your customer to sign it, you don't have to do that with Capital Blue Cross BORs. Oh, and Dana says that the complaint form is uploaded. Well, that's good to know. I can't see it on this system, but I'm sure it's user error. Kim says, confirming that the Like It, Keep It is extended to 12/1/2006. No, Kim, the Like It, Keep It is extended till 12/1/2017. I'm sorry if I said 16. It is normally, prior to this HHS notice, the last date to have a non-PPACA group health plan or any non-PPACA plan was 10/1/17. They've extended that to 12/17. Hope that makes sense. Jay says that he has not received any responses either. Well, unfortunately, I don't know what to tell you. I just think if they get enough of them, that they have to stand up and take notice and appreciate the protection that we as agents have afforded them. That's pretty much it. Brings us up to the conclusion. Our next webinar is, of course, next Thursday, the 10th, and I will get these forms out to you. And again, I appreciate you joining in and asking your good questions. Keep the questions coming, and again, have a great day and a great weekend. Bye-bye.